What's up, everybody? Reporter here, live from Tarkov. On this podcast, we'll be talking with members of the Tarkov community who are involved in various Escape from Tarkov community events, whether they're competitive or not. Today, we're talking about the Escape from Tarkov League, which is put on by a content creator named OneDeltaStreet. It's an 8-week league that has run for 6 weeks already, every Tuesday, and there are just 2 weeks left. In this league, players only score points for PMC kills, so it's a bloodbath. You're gonna love it. The lineup is crazy. Top of the table right now is the Israeli Drake himself, Florence. And right behind him, Thor the Titan and BAMBZ might still be in range to catch him. We'll see. The middle of the table, though, is where it's going to be really interesting in the final couple weeks. Streamers like Rutsak, Azzy, Stio, Ontorius, Bilbo, Walker, it's anybody's game. And rounding out the group, BAMBZ, Hay Bales, Ginger Linus, I wouldn't count out a single one of them for making a late push up the standings, especially with how well they know Interchange, which is one of the last 2 maps in league play. To learn a little bit more about the league, I brought in a couple ringers. We got interviews lined up with OneDeltaStreet and BAMBZ. So let's not waste any more of your time. Here's my conversation with the brains behind the EFT League, OneDeltaStreet. All right, hi everybody. Tarkov reporter here with OneDeltaStreet, a fantastic Tarkov content creator from Scotland who is running an Escape from Tarkov League every Tuesday right now. OneDeltaStreet, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Pleasure's mine, man. I'm doing very well. Took the day off and nice and relaxed. Happy to be here, man. Thank you very much for having me and taking the time to conduct this, dude. I'm loving the work that you do.
Hey, you took a Canadian holiday on your day off. I love that. Thank you for celebrating this Canadian holiday with us.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I took a day off everything, you know what I mean? Canadian day.
Absolutely. So Delta, tell me about this EFT League you have running. How did this idea come about?
I've actually not been in within the Tarkov circuit for long, to be honest with you. I recently came onto Twitch just less than a year ago when Mixer was overtaken by Facebook, and it was always mainly on PUBG. So I decided I love Tarkov, but nobody watched it really on Mixer, and I just thought, screw it, do it. And I really thrive on web show content. I really take a lot of detail and time. I create all the production work and things like that, and I do everything myself. And I'm like, I've done interviews, I've done a game show, and then I'm like, I've never dealt with competitive gaming. I'm not a competitive content creator. I'm not a competitive gamer. So I'm like, dude, let's try it. And we tried tournaments, and I've made a lot of mistakes during like these tournaments. When I first started out, my first tournament was like a knockout. You know what I mean? So I could have 16 streamers on a knockout tournament in one day. And I'm like, so potentially, you know, we tried it. We've realized it didn't work because like you could potentially just be playing 2 games and that was it. You know what I mean? And then people were waiting on other players to finish their raids. You know what I mean? People could play 2 raids within a bracket, and then they would have to wait another 40 minutes to an hour and a half for the other players in their brackets to do 2 raids. So we learned the mistakes, we ironed out the kinks, we kind of got ourselves into a way where it's like, I'm happy with this, and we've had amazing support from a lot of the content creators. They took interest in it. We kind of like put good production into it, which was kind of like got attention. Like we started off with the community matchups by doing like a wheel and things like that, you know, like the Streamlabs wheel, putting anything can happen with, you know what I mean? But we kind of wanted to do the league. I was watching a TV one day and I'm like, football league, you know what I mean, like a sports kind of thing, and I'm like, dude, that'd be awesome with Tarkov, you know what I mean? And I'm like, let's try it. And at this point, like I still hadn't had any, I don't really fit in kind of thing. Like I didn't know who was big, who was not, what people were doing, how many people were actually doing tournaments, what tournaments were held, how they were different. And then I was like, I'm just going to do what I'm doing with the tournaments. And then I kind of developed, you know, we've got a lot of amazing tournament hosts, and it's great. I'm happy to be one of the ones that are doing the league, you know what I mean? And I think it's standing out a little bit. It's got its flaws without a shadow of a doubt. It's first of its kind for me, for my content, and I need to find out what works and what doesn't, man. So I'm very happy with it so far, and it's been very well received. It's been supported a lot by the community, and it's been a good show. It's been fun to do, something different, because it keeps people invested, you know what I mean? It's 8 weeks of the same content creators. If viewers, you know, from their perspective, they watch week 1, week 2, they kind of want to stay invested in it to find out who actually wins it and things like that. And I want to say a big shout out to the sponsors of that, by the way. They decided they sponsored the event halfway through it was done. You know what I mean? I reached out to Custom Game Keys, and they're going to be giving away everybody like a prize to everybody participating.
Oh,
So
that's
even if
great.
people don't lose, people don't win, you know what I mean? They still get something, which is ideal. You know, I'm not in a great, huge financial position myself to be able to fund and throw in cash, but
Right.
I'm very blessed from this company to be doing this for the players, man. And I'm very grateful for the players for participating, because that's hard to do. You know what I mean? Trying to make something with 8 consistent weeks for content creators to manage their schedules around that. 12 of them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
huge GGs to the players participating and giving up their scheduled content time to
for
do this,
sure.
man. It's
For
awesome. I'm
sure.
loving it, man.
How did you come up with the format for the tournament particularly?
Like I said, trial and error. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've done tournaments in the past where, like, we've had points for PMCs, we've had points for scavs, we've had points for loot,
Hmm.
we've had all of that in one. I don't have a team. I don't have a staff team. I've got Art of COD, who's generously donating his time. He's a content creator on Twitch and also on Glimish. He's starting tournaments over there, and he actually participated early days of the community matchups, and he says, "I'll help you score it if you want," because the dude, my man Grizzly Triton, who originally started doing it with me, he's big in the PUBG circuit. He works alongside PUBG, so he's also doing his thing, which, you know, kind of conflict of interest. I was taking him away from that, so Art of COD stepped in and started scoring, and then after seeing we've had some issues previously, like with the fire sale tournament, like we'd got Kippenbro's score wrong, we'd got a few other scores wrong, just because it was such a small team. It's me and him, and there was too many elements for points.
Right.
So it was kind of like,
Hmm.
let's just do PvP, keep it simple. No points for scabs, no points for loot, and we'll keep it hardcore. We'll, you know, hardcore kill confirmed. It was kind of inspired by Call of Duty for that. I don't know how many people had done it, and I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? So it kind of keeps the point simple enough to keep accurate score points for Art of COD, especially in an 8-week tournament. You're going to want to be accurate with your points. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's done a hell of a job, man. This is actually because of him. I've been able to do a live leaderboard. I've never been able to do that before. You know what I mean? So I owe a lot. He's like the backbone of the tournament without a shadow of a doubt, man.
That's
But
really cool.
points, extraction, and the extraction is really important because you need to extract to get your dog tags confirmed.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
other
you
tournaments, you know
can't
what I
put them
mean?
in your gamma. You can't. You
No
can't.
container.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mm.
it kind of brings it more hardcore. You know what I mean? That's why I was always called hardcore kill confirmed, because you need to get out. It is Escape from Tarkov. You know, gunslinging all day, shift W. Like, but we are playing Tarkov a completely different way than what it is supposed to be playing. But we're
Right.
at that point of the wipe now
Yeah.
where people can afford to do it. It's fun. It's a new thing to do. Most of the people have already got, you know, Gamma and Kappa, sorry,
Yeah.
Kappa. And it's like, well, let's take that away and see how you play. You know what I mean? I'm
For
loving
sure.
it.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier though that maybe it has some flaws. Is there anything you would change about it for next time around?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like some of the rules as well. Like, I would definitely know. I've noticed as well that an 8-week tournament going in with the best gear at this point of the wipe is very expensive. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I will bring in some sort of items like looting, you know what I mean? Points for loot, because this tournament just costs people money. They don't actually make any
Yeah.
money, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
watch Evasion tournaments, dude, their format is absolutely fantastic. The production, the team, everything is just perfect. And their participants can still walk away with profit in their raids, you know what I mean? Mine's isn't like that, and I would like for it to be, and that risks longevity of, you know, somebody's place in the league, because say, I don't know, say Ontorius, right? He's got millions, but say he had really bad raids like weeks 1, 3, and 5, and then he might not have enough money to afford all the ammo, all the guns, and then he's going to be left with less quality gear. You know what I mean? Less
Right.
chances by
Hmm.
week 7 and 8. So bringing in, integrating something where it'll encourage guys, everybody to loot, maybe play it differently, push different spots. You know, there's a bunch of things, and I like to experiment with it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie, and I will give a huge shout out as well to Walker. Walker is a huge reason why the league is the longevity has been protected by it, because he gave me the idea. He gives me his like professional criticism and critique feedback, and I don't take it personally, dude, not at all, man. You know what I mean? Everything I hear is constructive in my mind, man. And he was the one who gave me the idea for the placement points, rather than just how many kills you have. You know what I mean? Because that the league would be over after week 2 or 3 kind of thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
placement points is how we're playing it out, and it was all down to Walkerman. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna take credit for it. This is like a community thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just make it look pretty. But I like the feedback from the community. I listen to the feedback. I sit and watch everybody's VODs from intro to exit, you know what I mean, of each week, man. It's a long period,
Mm.
and it's important to me because it's a community's feedback is what I want to give the content, what people would like to watch, you know what I mean? Every tournament's different. You've got Shifty's face-off tournament, you know what I mean? And like of course you've got the evasion, and then you've got the community matchups. Like they've all got their own niche, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those ones where it's good to be different and make sure that what you're putting out is well received at the end of the day. So big GG's to Walker, man.
For sure. And you've got people in this from all over. Tell me a little bit about the participants and did you put a call out? How did you put calls out? How did you get people involved in this?
I'm a big believer of getting people involved. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I don't I like having small numbers like 12. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We did have 16, but like I only have a set amount of time that I can be live for because I revolve my stream time around my daughter and her bedtime. You know what I mean? Even on the league, we are like my kids at like the last half hour is going to bed, so I can't be as loud and as you know what I mean. I'm a very energetic, loud person,
Yeah.
and in case you haven't noticed, just saying. But I can't do that, so I like to make sure that I'm you know, I'm trying to focus up a little bit. I've lost train of thought. I was going to say two different answers at the same time there. That energy, man, it's just got you all confused. Ah, go Canadian Day, go Canadian Day. I don't really
Hell
think I
yeah.
was Canadian. Sorry,
Hey,
what was the question again?
yeah, no
Before
worries.
I'm trying to answer two questions at the same time.
So let's start with just tell me about the participants you got in in this tournament.
That was it. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I was a big believer of getting people involved who believed, who took part at the beginning of the community matchups, the very first one. You know what I mean? Like Notorious, is somebody because I was nobody in Notorious. You know what I mean? Notorious didn't know me, and he played in the matchups, but he also helped punt it. He helped promote it. You know what I mean? He didn't have to, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. And then I've grown to I made a good friendship with Notorious, and I'm like, dude, I would love to have you because if this tournament gets big, it'd be good to like showcase everybody else. You know what I mean? I like to showcase as much as I can. I do player profiles and get as much info as I can. Good talking points. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can appreciate that as a little bit of like gaming journalism. Keep on
Hmm.
top of everything.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So like I keep the player list at 12. It used to be 16, but I'm a big believer in screen time, like an average screen time. And like I said, I revolve my stream around my daughter. So my tournaments don't last 3 hours, they don't last four, they only last two. You know what I mean? It's still long enough to be effective, but it's if you have too many players, you're not going to get to showcase everybody, and that's why I do it. I don't do it for me. You know what I mean? Like I do it to, if this gets big, then hopefully we can showcase more people. But the lineup would be based around, especially for this project, uh, the 8-week league would be to get people involved who have supported, who have been a part of the reason why the matchups has gained attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
By getting the players who filled it before, who helped promote it as it's like when it first started. I'm a big believer that kind of support goes a long way with me. When I do my normal community matchups tournaments, like the 1 day tournaments, it'll be like more of a anybody, you know what I mean? Anybody can participate. But for this league, it was like it had to be marketable. So obviously, more established players would be involved. I can't market unestablished content creators, especially for something like this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You want to do it once, you want to do it right, and then who knows what's going to happen for EFT League Two? Might be duos. We don't know.
Cool.
It could
Duos
be.
would be fun. Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, the standings as they are right now, and we're recording this on Monday, so before Tuesday's action for week 6. But Florence seems like a pretty big lead heading into the action on Tuesday. Well, has anything surprised you about the way has played out, and how do you think it's going to go down the stretch?
Every one is a surprise.
Yeah,
Every week is always a
yeah.
surprise. Like believe it or not, Florence was ready to leave. Florence was actually ready to forfeit one of his weeks. I think it was the
Oh my
factory
god.
one. Uh, he's just unbelievable. he was going to forfeit half an hour into his factory one because he was just having that bad, and that's that's a good chunk of his tournament time. He's only got an hour and a half left, and everybody was taking the lead. Like as they started off that with a 4-kill extraction raid, which is 45 points, and that's huge. And how fast that week was going, everybody was building up points first except Florence, and he was going to leave, and then he turned it around, he clutched up, came out with a dub, and then same again. He's on week number 2, but then BAMBZ, who in the first 2 weeks wasn't playing great. He's topped. He's came on top 2 weeks in a row as well. You know what I mean? And then obviously with the intervention, the interference with the Twitch rivals, something nobody could have foreseen.
Yeah.
So BAMBZ's time has been cut short. Gingy's time was cut short. Walker's time was cut short. You know what I mean? It's amazing. There's still so much drama to happen because it's the middle of the table now. Florence is taking a big league. Still got 3 weeks to recover. We don't, you know what I mean? For other people to catch up and take over, we'll see. But we're not going to just go and crown Florence the champion yet. The dude is absolutely insane, accurate, talented at the game, undeniable. You know what I mean? You've seen him playing in the Evasion. You've seen him playing in multiple tournaments, dude. And he's just a freak of nature at the game. And I think, personally, man, I think he deserves a little bit more recognition on this platform.
Totally agree. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just insane. The man is very skilled. There's a meme, there's a running joke within the community now that Florence actually has to be piss tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because
yeah, he should be. You're damn right.
It's just not natural to be that good.
I bet you that comes out pure RGB too. There's nothing. He's pissing pure RGB. There's no doubt in my mind.
We'll just start glowing.
Delta, you've mentioned Evasion, Shifty, the face-off tournaments, all sorts of different competitive events in the Tarkov community. What are your thoughts on Tarkov competitively in general right now?
In general, competitive. Yeah. It's not a competitive game. Yeah. I'll say that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm putting these on. I put these on. I don't know the motives between Evasion or the motives why they do their tournaments, or why anybody like Endra or Shifty, why they do their tournaments. That's their business. Me, I just want to have fun, bring the community together. You know what I mean? It's probably the same. Probably it's pretty much the same motive to do it. But Tarkov's not a competitive game. You know what I mean? It's a military survival, like hardcore military survival game. But it's one of those ones now. I'm sure everybody can have their like to agree to some extent, where after Kappa and your tasks are done, it's like you've still got a long time to go just to everybody can play PvP, but why not mix it up? Just do something for fun. It's not going to cost you anything. You know what I mean? Nobody dies because you play competitive. You try to make it competitive for some people and have some fun. It's for entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, everybody loves watching Landmark because he shift W's and clicks heads. Like, that's cool. That's great. But let's try and do that. Let's get a bunch of people that can do that and put it in a show. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I would never think that to a day, especially since we're still in beta, that this is going to be a complete like huge hardcore esports. You know what I mean? Cash prizes and like huge buy-ins or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be one of those ones. But dude, the game is enjoyable. You know what I mean? It messes with every emotion in your body, and it really does, man. I mean, I've said the worst kind of shit about Tarkov, but I've also said the best kind of shit about Tarkov.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
We're all addicts. We're all addicts. I completely get it.
I think for the competitive nature of Tarkov, you know what I mean, it should be taken to a certain level. You know what I mean? Just for enjoyment. Once people start taking it too seriously, and then toxicity comes into it, you know what I mean, and saltiness, and like that's a different. That's someplace this game should never go. You know, you get it with PUBG. You know what I mean? You get it with Call of Duty, that kind of thing. You don't really want to get that with Tarkov, dude. So these are not. It's not that kind of game, and I don't think Tarkov will make it that kind of game. You know what I mean? It's a community that's putting on this content. It's us that are doing it. So if it does, then I'm not. It may be part of our fault. I don't really think it's going to be that. It's just one of those ones where we need to remember what game we're playing. And like I said earlier, like during these tournaments, we play Tarkov in a way that's not really supposed to be played. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like. Yeah. One of those ones. But it's just for fun. That's it. It's the element of fun. People seem to be forgetting that have fun when you're gaming. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be you play like this so you suck, or you play like this so you suck. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones, man. People are people.
No, I get you. Yeah. I mean, we saw a lot of toxicity during Rivals, unfortunately. Yeah. I totally agree. this is a game you're supposed to have fun with, and
It's a game you're supposed to die in as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
point
yeah,
me to somebody who's got 100% KD, sorry, extraction survival rate with like not one raid and then that's it. But I'm enjoying being a part of it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying putting on the content and being part of the. Oh, you trying to touch my soul? Hang on, man.
My camera was messed up. Sorry for that. Yeah, I'm reaching out.
Canadian day. It's Canadian day. Mom, get some pancakes. Oh shit, you don't live here no more, Mom.
Delta, tell me about how you got into Tarkov. How'd you get into this crazy game that makes you want to destroy your soul at times, and also is the most amazing game?
Yeah, just leave the house and never return. That
Yeah.
kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just write my goodbyes on a piece of paper, write my will out, and then just say goodbye. I'm taking my graphics card and I'm going away. I actually, at the time, I was introduced to Tarkov over on Mixer. For those who don't know, I was actually partnered over on Mixer for 3 years, and I lost my job via tweet. You know what I mean? GG's. Thank you very much, Mixer. Moment of silence. Honey, fill with roses. So when Shroud came to Mixer, he actually started streaming Tarkov, and obviously at the time it was like, wow, Shroud's on Mixer,
Yeah.
oh my god, and then he started playing Tarkov, and then everybody on Mixer jumped on that bandwagon. Some people played it and then stuck to it. Some people didn't, just did it to try and get clout or jump in the train
Right.
or whatever. I watched it for a while, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was the things that kept me, because I played PUBG at the time, and it was like one heal on PUBG just gives you the bar back up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then a couple of painkillers and energy drink. Like, yeah, that's realistic, man. I'm gonna be a soldier, mom. I'm gonna be fine. Get some Red Bull. I'm come home, okay? But then I watched Tarkov, and then I'm like, holy shit, this looks complicated as hell. He's about to bleed out, and he's got stuff, but it's not working. You know what I mean? He's got a cheese. He's got a pack of cheese, but it's not. That cheese just don't heal the bleed. Come on, just put the cheese. But it was amazing, man. It's like the comms, the like everything about it. You couldn't, you didn't had no heads up display. You had no information who your teammate or where he was. It all relied on the communications, man. It was fascinating to see. And I'm like, I'm a console player. I'm not a PC gamer. You know what I mean? So that's why like my skill at Tarkov playing is limited. Shit, but limited. And then I'm like, dude, I'm gonna try this out. And then Mixer died, you know what I mean? Because at the time, my business, I was doing great. I was making really good sustainable income and on Mixer, but then that died. And then I'm like, dude, when I tried to stream Tarkov on Mixer, nobody wanted to watch it. So I'm like, okay. Mixer died, came to Twitch, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm reinventing my content, reinventing it with a new platform, new content. Let's mix it up. A lot of my business died with that. A lot of it, about 80% of my business died, and a lot of my community left because one, I went to PC, and two, it wasn't PUBG I was playing. It was Escape from Tarkov.
Right.
So I had to kind of like rebuild kind of thing. You know what I mean? Which is why it's like I've always been one to create web show content that brings people to my channel. You know what I mean? It gravitates people towards me because I'm not a competitive gamer. Nobody's going to want to come watch me just for my gameplay. Like I've got a great sense of humor. I'll make you laugh. I'll talk shit, all that good stuff, right? And I'll get very invested within my community. But nobody's going to want to watch me play because I don't play at a high level, especially like as a console player on PC, mouse and keyboard. It's very difficult sometimes. But that's why I started making competitive, like new web show content, like the tournaments and in the league to get people in my channel to try and have some sort of, like climb the mountain and set your flag down in a little bit within the community, kind of like that. So I love Tarkov, man, and I love shoutcasting it. You know what I mean? See, when I play completely different live and I play off stream. When I'm off stream myself, I'm a pussy. I'm a complete shitbag, man. I, I, I don't even use a key. I'll hide in a corner. I'll doubt myself when I'm live. I'm just streamer running. You know what I mean? Like I could be getting shot. Oh, what's up, guys? How we doing? That's fine. I'm dead. Cool. But you know what I mean? But have a good time, man. Enjoy it.
That's what it's all about. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's all the questions I have for you, Delta. Is there anything else you want to add, or maybe go ahead and plug the tournament? So this will probably air later this week, but go ahead and plug the last 2 weeks of the tournament for me.
So, like, it's been a blessing as well to have the support of Battlestate Games in this. You know, what I mean, that's something that blows my mind. Like Escape from Tarkov gets its Tarkov gets its promotion from content creators. I'm not saying content creators are the reason Tarkov is successful. Absolutely not. But you know what I mean. Battlestate Games shows appreciation, and they invest their time and resources into supporting content creators who broadcast their game. Not a lot of companies do that. You know what I mean. I've seen game companies who partner up with people and they don't do anything for them. You know what I mean? They don't do anything for their partners. There's not a beneficial relationship. It doesn't benefit the content creator. But Battlestate Games has been absolutely amazing. I'm not partnered with Battlestate Games or anything like that, but they're retweeting the content. You know what I mean? They're very supportive about it, and they're loving this because it, like I said, it brings something else exciting to the community. You know what I mean? It's not a competitive game, but it's sure as shit fun to watch. You know what I mean? And I want it like it's amazing to be like have that kind of support from BSG, man, and it's a huge reason why the league is getting as much traction as what it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm blessed for that, man. We've got week 7 is going to be co-hosted by Von Helsing. You may have heard of him. He's a crazy model lover. You know what I mean? That man just needs to I don't know if I'm going to match that energy, dude. I don't think anybody's going to tune in to watch the gameplay. Nobody's going to give a fuck. You get me and Von Helsing. We're just going to be like talking shit the entire time, man.
Probably, yeah.
He's crazy, man. He's got like the biggest winning smile in the planet, man. He's awesome. So I'm excited. I've never worked with Von Helsing before, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good like first meeting kind of thing. So it's gonna be good to work with him, and I can't wait for that. And then the final is going to be on Factory, guys. We're going to be doing the final. Week 8 is going to be on Factory. We shifted that around. It was meant to be customs, and but we're going to switch it to Factory because the first time we played Factory on week 3, I think it was, within 2 hours, 12 players killed 517 PMCs. That's how many PMCs died, were killed during the EFT League, and within 2 hours in Factory. Amongst 12 people was 517.
That's crazy.
Lawrence killed 516 of them.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Piss test them, man. Piss test them.
That's it.
Come on.
So that's pretty much the content, man. I love innovating and creating other things. You know what I mean? Not like I like to try and stand out a little bit. You know what I mean? If you've thought of an idea, somebody's probably already done it. You know what I mean? But it's try and just do something, do it good, make it stand out, and make it entertaining, worth people's time. That's the big believer. The thing that I believe in. Make sure it's worth people's time, and like the EFT game show, I'm trying to bring that back as well. I want to try and line up an episode with the UK emissaries, Philbo, Iron Fist, and Walker. You know what I mean? Like, I've never done 3 guests on the show before, but I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. These guys have got a great relationship, and I might revamp the overlays and things like that, create new stuff for it. But that's what I want to try and bring back as well. And I have partnered up with Hyperlux Gaming, which is a tournament organization, and we're going to be expanding the community matchups. So we're not only going to be doing like Escape from Tarkov tournaments, but we're going to be doing like FIFA, Apex, Call of Duty, PUBG. You know what I mean? And we're going to make a big thing about it, man. It's going to be great, and I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about that. So thank you very much, man. This has been
absolutely
awesome.
But one last thing before we go, who do you use in FIFA? Who's your team in FIFA?
It was Man United. Man United is my team in FIFA. Right. That's my team. How have you got? Sorry, I need a Canadian team. I'll go Canada.
Vancouver Whitecaps, MLS.
Vancouver Whitecaps, MLS, man. That's my team, bro. That's the team. Okay. I don't know what part of Canada that's from, man.
The west coast of Canada, man. They don't know where Vancouver is. Come on now.
No, I know where Vancouver is.
Okay. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. I appreciate the work that you do, by the way, man. This is fucking lit. This is awesome, man. The work, the collaborations you've been doing with the Evasion, man, is awesome. And that's a fine example. You know what I mean? That's a testimony as to what the Escape from Tarkov community is, man.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like competition, competitive, or like, you know what I mean? You guys are like integrating, supporting one another. The work that you've done with Evasion, man, it's absolutely fantastic, dude. And I'm excited to see who else that you get involved with this, dude. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got a story to tell, and everybody's also, you know what I mean? There's also people there who are going to be interested in listening to it, man. So I want to say thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much for being here, Delta. And all the best with the rest of the league, and hopefully the game show coming back soon. Everybody go follow OneDeltaStreet over twitch.tv/OneDeltaStreet and check the league out on Tuesdays. That factory final is going to be nuts. Can't wait.
It is indeed. It is indeed, man. I appreciate the love, man.
Appreciate
Guys,
it.
thank you very much. Take care.
Have a great day, y'all. My many thanks to OneDeltaStreet for taking the time to be with us earlier this week. You can find him over at twitch.tv/OneDeltaStreet. I will link to that in the description as well. Next, we sat down with BAMBZ, who's in third place in the EFT League with 2 weeks to go. BAMBZ is definitely a threat to move up the table in the final couple of weeks. Let's hear from BAMBZ on his experience in the league so far and get to know him a little better. Hi everyone, Tarkov reporter here with BAMBZ, the Tarkov content creator from Canada who just celebrated 53 months of Twitch partnership. He's playing in OneDeltaStreet's Escape From Tarkov League on Tuesdays. BAMBZ, thanks for being here. Congrats on the stream anniversary. How the heck are you, man?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been crazy to think that I've been streaming for 65 months and partnered for 53 of those. So it's a big milestone. I had somebody tell me the other day when they resubbed for 52 or 53 whatever it was, they were like, man, how does it feel to be a Twitch OG, like to have people that are subbed to you for 50 plus months? And I didn't even think about, I never even thought about it that way, but I was like, yeah, you know what, like that kind of does make you like he puts me in the same boat as like the guys that have been doing it forever, right? Like the summits that have been doing it for 7 years and stuff. And I was like, yeah, we're kind of getting up there, like it's true. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild to think about. Yeah. Now I know you've played in some Escape from Tarkov competitions before, but this league is sort of a new concept. What's your experience been in general in terms of playing in OneDeltaStreet's EFT League?
I absolutely love it. I think that a lot of people should be kind of looking over the fence and learning a lot from OneDelta, and not only like just the the format of it, but the presentation, the production value, everything that he puts into it is just so far above and beyond. It's 11 out of 10. And the league format, personally, I prefer, because you can have that bad day. You know what I mean? If you play in a tournament, you can have that bad day. You can get off to a rough start. You can get Tarkov. I've had it happen myself in an evasion tournament, for example, where, you spawn into woods at nighttime and you catch a couple mines, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's one of those things that it's hard to come back from. So the league format, I personally really love, and it just gives you more time to kind of get comfortable, get into your own. And then, if you have a rough day or whatever, hey, you can come back next week and you can put on a show and really get back into it.
Nice. Now you've got a couple weeks left, Interchange and Factory remaining, I think, and you're behind Thor the Titan and Florence. You're in third place, so you're in a great spot. But it looks like it's going to be tough to top those two. How do you think you can get ahead of them?
Well, so I won Interchange last time.
Okay.
And not that means anything, but the possibility of me winning Interchange again is definitely there. So we could take Interchange, which would hopefully put us ahead of Thor. I think I can catch Thor, but Florence, I think if I even did the math on it, even if he went bottom 9 both weeks and I won both weeks, I think he'd still have me by like 3 points. Like, he's up there. Florence is a machine, dude. He is no pun intended. He is insane. He is a really, really, really good player, and he deserves it. He deserves to be up there. He's just had really good weeks. He's had more PMC kills than most of us combined, and he's just an absolute god. So hats off to him. He deserves to be where he's at. But Thor, I think Thor and I are gonna have a good little battle for second.
Nice.
I think he and I are gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, man. It's really cool to see how many great content creators there are in this league. I'm blown away by the whole thing. Like it's from top to bottom. This league is people that I would not want to be in a lobby with. It's monsters of the game for sure. So that's really cool. Now, how would you describe your Tarkov playstyle in general?
So, and I've actually, we commented on that the other day. I spend a lot of time as a Sherpa, so I often, I'm teaching the game to other people and trying to, break down and especially when, things happen or we die, go back, watch things back, break down how we could have done things differently, rotate differently. And I try to be a little more strategic. I don't get me wrong, I love running around like my hair's on fire, but I also like to have a little bit of method to the madness. You know what I
Right.
mean? I like to have a little bit more control in the scenario. I like to think of the map in more of like a top-down perspective. And I like, as I've played more, I've only been playing since February of last year. As I've played more and more and gotten to know the maps, I feel like I've been able to do that better and kind of visualize, sight lines and different angles. And when somebody is in a certain situation, like I said, picture it from the top down and be able to close down whatever angle they have or take away whatever advantage they have and try to be a little more strategic in that way. There was a play that happened, for example, one time where I was pushing about across in towards smugglers, and there was a guy up in construction that had an angle, and I ended up backing out of the entire scenario instead of forcing it and trying to get in there. Backed out of the entire scenario, wrapped the entire way around, and came at the backside from and ended up taking out ZB13, sorry, instead, which is completely on the other side of the map. So there's just times like that where like I feel like I try to know when to fold, when to walk, when to run, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
and really use that to my advantage. Because I love the stand in fights, I love the one-on-one, the PvP, but if it's a losing battle, I don't want to be there, you know what I mean. I want
Yeah.
to get out of there as quick as
No,
I can.
definitely. Tell me about being a Sherpa. What's that been like for you?
It's been really good. It's a great program. Big shout out to the BSG guys that help keep that alive and run it. All the guys over there, all the Sherpa instructors, everybody. It's an amazing program. Sherpa Hub. They do a lot of really great work helping people get into Tarkov and really enjoy Tarkov. To like a higher degree. Um, as a content creator Sherpa, I just help a lot of people on stream. But a lot of the Sherpas that do the tickets and do a lot of the one-on-one, like I did myself as well. Just like they do a really good job of making sure that people have a better understanding, or if they're trying to get better at PvP, or if they're trying to learn a map or loot runs or whatever, that they get the answers that they're looking for, and that they're helped, and that they get to obviously enjoy Tarkov. Just to a higher degree.
For sure. Now, I understand before you got into streaming, you were a DJ.
Yeah.
What got you into streaming in the first place? And all of, I guess, 65 months ago now.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking back. Sorry, was there a
Yeah, no,
follow-up to
sorry.
that?
What got you in all those years ago? What made you switch over to streaming? And do you still do any DJing on the side at all?
Yeah, well, to answer the DJing question, I usually do a set every Friday. Friday evening, we kind of ring in the weekend on my channel. We do a little live set, usually about an hour, nothing crazy. But so I still get to DJ a little bit. Obviously, in today's climate, you can't DJ any clubs or anything. Like,
Right.
there's nothing of that kind of work that's available. But I'm hoping, when Edmonton starts to open back up, we can get some kind of a residency here and work with some of the clubs here. That'd be fun. But no, what got me into streaming, it's funny, I actually created a YouTube channel the exact same day that I created my Twitch channel. And I always thought that YouTube was going to be my thing. I loved, editing videos. Like, it actually stems from my mom. My mom worked in marketing and created content and did a lot of editing with, big suites and stuff, a lot of things for big companies, airlines and stuff. So I always kind of had that timing and that editing side of me, and I always thought that was going to be my thing. And I just started streaming, and I fell in love with that live interaction. Just having that chat to talk to, and just getting to hang out with people and get to answer and help. And the biggest thing too for me back then, I was playing Destiny. I was doing trials carries, which carrying people to the lighthouse. You had to get 7 wins in a row and go flawless, and that was something that not a lot of people could attain. I really enjoyed helping people, and that, I think, was what also just threw gas on the fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of the love of wanting to help people, and then the stream obviously opened up an avenue for people to find me that I could help more people, and it just kind of fed itself from there. That, and I looked up to people like Professor Broman. He was a
Right.
very large, still is a very large content creator, very prominent in the Destiny community. Really, just looked up to him, and I watched his, it was like streaming 101. It was like him and his brother T-Rex put together this streaming 101 way back in the day. And I took it all to heart and just went from there. And here we are, almost 7 years later, or 6 years later. and it's going really well. You know, it's been a crazy ride, and I owe it all actually to one of my mods. We sat there on a fateful night in February. I started streaming in December of 2015, and February of 2016 we hit 1,000 followers. And I sat in a Discord call, much like we are right now, with one of my mods, Robbie, and we sat there with a pre-built PC in my cart, and we debated back and forth. Should I go for this? Should I pull the trigger? Should we double down on this and really try to make something out of this? And we weighed up the pros and cons. I was in university at the time. I had 2.5 years. I was 2.5 years in, and I decided to say, hey, you know what? Heck with it. Let's see how far this can go. Let's see where this can take us. And now we're sitting at a little over 40,000 followers. You know, the herd is stronger than ever, and it's been a crazy journey. And
It's taking you pretty far, yeah. No
yeah, I
kidding.
owe it all to that one fateful night. You know, it was definitely a why. It was a split in the roads. It was one direction or the other, and I definitely am glad that I made the decision that I did.
Cool. I wanted to ask you about your Friday night music stream, your DJ streams. Like, what kind of music are you into most? What gets you hyped up for a stream? What are your viewers normally like to listen to?
I play a lot of deep house and like future house. It's a lot of EDM, obviously. But yeah, I grew up. My taste is very eclectic. I grew up in the Netherlands from the age of 6 to 12. So that was during the big like techno scene. It was all Gigi D'Agostino and like all of those guys. It was before Hardwell, before any of those guys were even anybody. Before Tiesto was even anybody, right? It was like right when he started to like pick up. Yeah, so that was really a big influencer on my music taste. And then I lived in Ireland from the age of 12 to 19, from 12 to 19. And that was right around like 2009, 2010, 2011. So that was like dubstep. You know what I mean? Dubstep was a big thing. Skrillex had just come out. And you had this big, UK wave of drum and bass where the drum and bass met the reggae and became this dubstep genre. And it was, yeah, that was a big influencer too. So I listened to a lot of stuff. As far as DJing, though, I definitely play more like deep house and future house kind of stuff. Big fan of like Chami and like Pep and Rash and like those kind of guys. But yeah, I listen to everything. I listen to all kinds of stuff. Would love to, like I said, work with some clubs here. Obviously, once everything opens back up, but we'll have to wait and see.
How do you approach those streams from like a DMCA perspective? I don't really know much about music on Twitch. I just know that sometimes there are potential legalities there that come into play. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I currently am a subscriber to Monster Cat. So I definitely use a lot of their stuff. But I've also found, for the most part, at least with the EDM scene, I can't speak about necessarily other music genres, but I know with the EDM scene, I have had parts of my VODs be muted for the past 5 years, right? But not once have I ever had a strike. I've never had them actually, come after or want me to take anything down. And I think it's largely because the EDM scene just wants their music to be heard.
Sure.
They just want it to be heard. They want it to be spread far and wide. Because I think they ultimately know that, well, it's obviously a passion of making music, but they ultimately know that that's going to generate fans. Someone's going to hear it and go, oh, that's really good. And then they're going to go find the rest of their stuff. And then maybe this time it is on Spotify and now they're getting paid for the plays, or now, they went out and bought an album, you know what I mean? So there's just infinite ways that you could ultimately get paid still, from somebody just playing it on a stream. And I think they like not necessarily buy in, but believe in that a little bit more than some of the other genres. And again, I can't really speak to that, but I've had friends that play other genres of music, which I'm not going to mention, and they have had strikes. They have been attacked and they've been taken down. So it's definitely a hard walk to walk, but I think at least with the EDM scene, I've had no issues. I've had no problems with it. If anybody did have an issue, I would, very happily pull it down. But ultimately, yeah, I just love the music that we're playing, and I love sharing it with whoever will listen, right? Like it's always fun doing another set on Friday. Throughout the week, I'll listen to, some of the different playlists and try to find some new stuff that brand new that's just come out. and then getting to play that on Friday, and seeing everyone's reaction in chat, like their first time hearing that song, that's going to be like their summer song, like that's going to be their song of like 2021. You know what I mean? Like that to me is what it's all about. Like that's just the coolest feeling, being the person that showed them that, and it's or just finding a remix of a song that they've heard a million times, but hearing it spun a different way, it just kind of gets them, thinking about that song differently, or yeah, it just gets them in a dancing ish mood. It's again hard with Twitch, but we got cat jams. Cat jams flow pretty good on a Friday night.
Definitely.
And yeah, we jam in other ways, but it's a lot of fun.
I got one more question for you, and it's referring back to the EFT League. I just want to know, is there anything you got to say to your opponents going in these last 2 weeks? Anything you want to throw out there at them? Because, there's a lot of great people in this league, and I'm sure some of them are coming for you in the next couple of weeks. So is there anything you want to throw down? Anything you want to throw down their way?
I want to say, well, for Thor, I want to say, look out, we're coming for you. Because I think there's 5 points between us right now, between second and third.
It's pretty close.
I think it's the difference of like an exfil right now. Yeah, it's pretty tight. So Thor, I'm coming for you, and Florence, GG's, it was fun. Thanks for putting me on my place. Thanks for letting me know exactly what it should be. I haven't been playing. I don't know how long these guys have been playing Tarkov, but again, I feel like I've represented well, considering we've been playing for just over a year. Like we did pretty okay this time around, and I got to find out that we've been invited back for the duos. So
saw that playing with Von Helsing.
Yeah, we got my boy Von Helsing on board, and the energy man, the hype man himself, and we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get some really good games. I actually was playing some duos with him on Interchange, of course, because that's the only map he knows. And we were playing some duos, and we met this other duo that was both really good players. And neither he nor I took a single hit. We had a really great, just team play, really great comms, just outmaneuvered these two players that were really good players. And that was when I knew. I was like, yo, I got to take Vaughn. We gotta do this. Him and I, we got to run the duos. And that's when I contacted Delta. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that we're gonna get to play together.
All right. Well, watch out for that team in the next edition of the league. That'll be something. Before we close out here, just let the people know where they can find you on stream and what your stream schedule is like.
My stream schedule is pretty great. It's every day but Monday. Nobody likes Mondays, so we don't stream on Mondays. But yeah, every other day you'll find me 11 a.m. Pacific, noon Mountain, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
You're
single
good with
day
the
except
time
Monday.
zones.
Yeah. Well, I've lived in a lot of those, so I feel like I've done that mental arithmetic a couple times. But yeah, you'll catch me every single day on Twitch but Monday, and I do a lot of games with viewers, play a lot with just people, and try to help them with whatever they're trying to get done. And yeah, we always have a good time.
All right. Well, BAMBZ, thanks so much for being here, and good luck with the last 2 weeks of the tournament.
Yo, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks so much to BAMBZ for taking the time to sit down with me today. You can find him at twitch.tv/BAMBZ. That link will be in the description as well. And make sure you tune into the EFT League on Tuesday, June the 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. As you heard in the previous interviews, Mr. Interchange himself, Von Helsing, will be co-hosting with OneDeltaStreet. Don't miss it. It'll be hilarious, I promise. And the final installment, of course, Tuesday, June the 8th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They'll be destroying PMCs on Factory. Nothing will lead those raids alive, I can promise you that. All that, of course, twitch.tv/OneDeltaStreet. Keep an eye out for the next edition of the league too, which is going to be a duos competition. I can't wait to see that either. But that's going to do it for this edition of Live from Tarkov. Yeah, you can find me, Tarkov Reporter, at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and now on TikTok too, all at Tarkov Reporter. Would love to hear your feedback and which members of the Tarkov community you would like to see on this show in the future. Let me know in the comments section on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and tweet at Tarkov Reporter on Twitter. All right. Thanks for listening. Go divide them cheeks. We'll see you next time.